Hi guys, it is Miss Lion again. We are back for our next core concepts lesson, and today we are going to be talking about the 5 themes of geography. This, like a lot of things that we talk about in our first unit, are concepts and ideas that we are going to use throughout the entire school year. So it's very important that we have a deep and meaningful understanding of them. In order to do that, we have to first start with the basics. And we're just going to do an introduction to the 5 themes of geography today, and we will discuss them quite a bit more when we are in class together. So in general, what are the 5 themes of geography? Well, they are different categories of information that we can use to help us describe the world around us. And the different categories are movement, region, human-environment interaction, location, and place. We'll use these as a tool to help us learn about many ancient and modern civilizations throughout the year, including ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. I do want to play a song for you guys. It is one of my favorite cheesy learning tools. We'll listen to it in class again, but it does a great job of explaining what kind of information goes into the different categories when it comes to the 5 themes of geography.
1,
2, 3,
4. 5 themes of geography. We got 5 themes of geography. I said 5 themes of geography. We got 5 themes of geography. Location is a theme of geography. Location is a theme of geography. I said location is a theme of geography. Location is a theme of geography. Location tells you where it is. Location tells you where it is. I said location tells you where it is. I said location tells you where it is. 5 themes of geography. We got 5 themes of geography. I said 5 themes of geography. We got 5 themes of geography. Place is a theme of geography. Place is a theme of geography. I said place is a theme of geography. Place is a theme of geography. What is it like when you get there? What is it like when you get there? I said what is it like when you get there? What is it like when you get there? 5 themes of geography. We got 5 themes of geography. I said 5 themes of geography. We got 5 themes of geography. Movement is a theme of geography. Movement is a theme of geography. I said movement is a theme of geography. Movement is a theme of geography. People and ideas get around. 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 5 themes of geography. We got 5 themes of geography. I said 5 themes of geography. We got 5 themes of geography. Human environment interaction. Human environment interaction. I said human environment interaction. Human environment interaction. What do the people do to the environment? What do the people do to the environment? What does the environment do for the people? What does the environment do for the people? 5 themes of geography. We got 5 themes of geography. I said 5 themes of geography. We got 5 themes of geography. Regions is a theme of geography. Regions is a theme of geography. What do locations have in common? What do locations have in common? Climate, religion, language, education. Climate, religion, language, education. States or territories, borders of a nation. States or territories, borders of a nation. 5 themes of geography. We got 5 themes of geography. I said 5 themes of geography. We got 5 themes of geography.
Alrighty guys, so that is the 5 themes of geography song. It's cheesy, it's great. We'll listen to it more often. Okay, the next thing we want to talk about is how can I more easily remember the 5 themes? And the last couple years in class, we've used a saying that is Mr. Help. And each of the letters in Mr. Help stands for a different theme of geography. So the M stands for movement, R for region. We combine the HE to stand for human environment interaction. The L is for location and the P is for place. Let's just have a brief discussion about what kind of information goes into each of these categories. And let's start with movement. So movement describes how people, goods, which are things that we buy, ideas and information get to a particular place. So in the picture you see a boat, a plane, a train, a truck. Those are different methods, modes of transportation or movement of how people, goods, and ideas got from where they were originally at to where they're at now. Think about, how did the food in our grocery stores get to the grocery store? How did your iPads get to the Apple store? That kind of thing. Region, which is the next theme, describes the similarities you might find in an area. So they could be language, culture, they could have a similar historical background. If you look at the map that's on the bottom of this screen, you can see that it's the United States, and it has the United States broken down into regions. Each of those regions has something in common. It could be a particular type of climate or a different kind of landforms. It doesn't really matter. We can talk more about different types of regions when we're in class, but each of those areas has something in common. Next, we have human-environment interaction. And human-environment interaction is probably one of the easiest themes to see because it describes how humans, we as people, have changed a particular place. So, have we built highways there? What have we done to make it easier for us to live in that location? And it also has to do with, how do humans adapt or change to the environment around them? The picture on the bottom of this slide is a highway in Colorado. So you can see that there's two giant tunnels that are going into the side of a mountain. And that's one way that the people of Colorado have changed their environment to make it easier for them. So now they can just drive through that tunnel, through the mountain, to get to their location. They don't have to drive all the way up the mountain on narrow little paths or narrow little roads to get where they want to go. So that's an example of human-environment interaction. Next, we have location. So obviously, location describes where something is on Earth, but there are two different kinds of location. The first is absolute location, which describes exactly where something is located. You can do this using latitude and longitude, which is something that we'll practice in class, or you could be doing this using exact addresses. So you have 41 degrees north, 85 degrees west. That is the latitude and longitude for Elkhart, Indiana. Probably the type of location we're most used to hearing and using is relative location. And that is when you describe where something is at in relationship to another place. So I might say that my apartment or my house is 2 minutes from Meyer. That is generally where it's at. I have not told you a street address. I haven't told you where Meyer is. I haven't told you where I'm at. But generally I've told you the location of those two places. Here are just some examples. So Australia, which is in green, is south of Indonesia, which is in yellow. And then you have the absolute location for Indonesia at the top of the picture on the right-hand side. Next, we have place, and place describes the physical and human characteristics of an area. So physical characteristics could be like, how high above sea level is it? And Indianapolis is 715 feet above sea level. It could be, what kind of landforms are there? What's the climate like? But probably one of the human characteristics we'll talk about the most when it comes to place is population, or the number of people that live in that area. Here's an example of how you can display the 5 themes of geography and help describe a location. So we have a web here from Memphis, which is a city in Tennessee. And in the center you have Memphis, and then around it you have the 5 themes, and then branching off of the 5 themes you have different facts that would be associated with that category. So for example, under location we have 35 degrees north, 90 degrees west, which is the absolute location using latitude and longitude of Memphis. Alrighty, this was a really quick lesson because it's just an introduction. We're going to go into more detail when we're together in class, but we need to have this foundation before we can go into that detail. But let's wrap up what we learned. So the first thing that we learned was that the 5 themes are categories of information that we can use to help us describe the world around us. Secondly, we learned that we are going to be using them as a tool throughout the school year to help us learn about modern and ancient civilizations. And the last thing that we learned are that the 5 themes are movement, region, human environment, interaction, location, and place. All right, what do we need to do next? So after listening to this lesson, the very next thing that you need to do is to take the 5 Themes of Geography Check for Understanding quiz. Please don't forget to submit your answers. You will have multiple attempts available on this quiz. So if you take it the first time and you're not happy with your score, you can retake it. Please take advantage of retaking it to help improve your score and to help you better understand the material. After you've taken the Check for Understanding quiz, then you're going to complete the syllabus and classroom expectations review. It's really important that we understand what is expected of us in school, and the best way we can get that into our minds is just by practicing and using that information. So we're going to work on that expectations review. And then the last thing that you'll need to do for e-learning today for social studies is to complete the continents, oceans, and directions review activity. This will be a good reminder of what we learned earlier in the week about these topics. Alrighty guys, have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.